Kenyans who travel to South Africa for tourism will not go there. Most likely, most African countries are going to boycott products on the shelves of supermarkets. Any product coming from South Africa, any company that is a South African company is going to be a serious ripple effect to the economy of these countries. From Court Helicopter, we condemn very violently the attack on Africans from other countries who are living in South Africa. If South African government is the one that chased the people, then the South African government can be held responsible. Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer. It is a sad day for Africa. It's a very sad day on two fronts. All the African teams in the World Cup have been eliminated at the quarterfinals. As Africa, as a continent, we need to rethink the way forward. We were hoping at least one of the countries will carry the flag of Africa to the semi-finals. But that as it is may, that is the art of sports. You win, you lose. We have another 4 years to prepare for the next the next show of Africa, the next World Cup. But in Africa, we'll be having AFCON being staged in the East African countries. This is to bring solidarity and to bring a brotherliness and sisterness between African countries. The spirit of the African Union was to make Africa, under the Pan-African concept of the great founders of this African country, Nelson Mandela in South Africa, Samora Machel in Mozambique, Mobutu Sese Seko in Zaire, now the DRC Congo, Mwalimu Nyerere in Tanzania, Jomo Kenyatta in Kenya, Milton Obote in Uganda, and very many other leaders, Kwame Nkrumah in Ghana. All these people believed that Africans are brothers. Why have I gone to the history? A sad unfolding in South Africa. Very many Africans are being chased because of the concept of xenophobia. We did the first warning explainer that 27,000 Kenyans living in South Africa face a grave danger of being chased out of South Africa. A notice was issued that by 30th of June, all non-South African foreigners that are undocumented must leave South Africa. It looked a joke. A few left. And when we did the explainer, people said that we are alarming, we are scaremongering. The reality is now with us here. Out of 27,000 Kenyans, today, 422 Kenyans have been chased out of South Africa. The government of Kenya is working very hard to evacuate the Kenyans who are in South Africa. These people are coming. Their livelihood, all their life in South Africa, all their businesses have gone up in smoke. All their career has been destroyed. Children who are in school have been chased. Patients who are in hospital are running away from the hospitals. What is then the law that deals with this? We went back, told our crew Bramwell to go and do research and find out what is the actual law of this issue. We found a statement, that is the law, the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. This is the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, is the court that is mandated to deal with these issues of Africa. What has the court said? The African Commission on Human and People's Rights, through the County Rapporteur on Human Rights in the Republic of South Africa, the Commission notes with grave concern that the latest incident, which forms part of a long-standing pattern of xenophobic violence in South Africa, including, this is the history from 1998. Listen. Including in 1998, the killing of 3 foreign nationals in Johannesburg. The first xenophobic attack, 3 foreign nationals were killed. Second, in August 2000, killings in Cape Town. There was a lot of killing in the second episode in Cape Town. Third, the May 2008 nationwide attacks that resulted in 60 people being killed. Fourth, 1,700 people were injured and 100,000 displaced that is in 2008. Fifth, in 2009, displacements of Zimbabweans. The Xenophobia attack targeted Zimbabweans in the Downs. 7. In 2015, a nationwide xenophobic violence requiring military intervention. In 2015, it was so bad until the South African military had to come out of the barracks to deal with it. In 2020, incidents linked to groups such as Operation Dudula, including the disruption of a church service held by the Mapostori group in Limpopo province. The xenophobic attacks even attacked the churches. 8th, in 2022, the members systematically blocked entrances to public health facilities in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, demanding that individuals show proof of citizenship before receiving care. So, in 2022, people were blocked from receiving medical attention in KwaZulu and Gauteng. You can imagine, you are a Kenyan. You cannot be treated in any hospital in South Africa unless you are a South African. What will happen? If Kenya decides that no South African can access any hospital in this country, no South African can access any church in this country, no South African can access any learning institution from the university to primary. This is what was happening in South Africa. In 2025, this is a serious issue. The Commission has affirmed the fundamental rights of all individuals, including non-nationals, to equality, dignity, and the security of their person, lives, and property. The xenophobic attacks not only constitute possible violations of abuse of Article 3, 4, 5, 12, 14, and 28 of the African Charter, but also are contrary to the principles of African solidarity, which underpins the African Charter. This is the statement from there. So the question that Court Helicopter went further to ask What is the remedy available for the Kenyans who have been chased from South Africa? Can they go to court? Which court? The Kenyan court? The South African court? Where will they go? We found out that there are bodies, there are courts established by the UN to deal with this issue. The first one is the United Nations Human Rights Treaty bodies. The first one is the International Convention of the Elimination of all forms of racial discrimination. Those are the conventions of the UN. The first body is the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination and the UN Human Rights Committee. There is a committee at the UN called the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, where Kenyans can go. 2, that is the global body. What about the regional courts? The regional courts there are 3 regional courts. In Africa, we have the African Commission on Human Rights and the Human and People's Rights. That is the court that one can go to deal with this matter. Third, the Kenyans can go to the International Criminal Court, the ICC, and arrest and seek for the arrest of the South African president and the government of South Africa. So the questions that come out, what will they be looking? Under the international law, the Kenyans who have been chased can go to those courts that we have said, seeking for 2 or 3 reliefs. 1, reparation. Reparation is what is called to return the people whatever they had been stolen, whatever they have lost, then they are paid. 2, restitution, returning them back to South Africa and stay where they were working. Can they go to the Kenyan courts? They cannot go to the Kenyan courts. The law does not allow them go to the Kenyan courts. Can they sue the government of South Africa? It is a very delicate balance under the international law. If South African government is the one that chased the people, then the South African government can be held responsible. If, for example, Nigeria has issued a very serious demand for compensation, and the South African government has said it is not the government of South Africa that took the people, chased the people from there. In the famous case of Chazo, why will the South African government go scot-free? In the Chazo factory case, where it was Germany versus Poland, in 1928, the Permanent Court of the International Justice, it was established that states are internationally liable for unlawful expropriation and formulated the bedrock legal principle that reparations must fully wipe out all the consequences of an illegal act and restore the situation to what it could have been if the breach had occurred. This is a case where Germany attacked Poland and took the properties of that country. This is very different. In this case, that International Court of 1928 compelled Germany to pay Poland for whatever they had acquired illegally. This applies, for example, if the Kenyan government decides to take the properties of Ugandan government, properties of the American embassy in Kenya, then those countries can go to the international court and get compensation. But here it is individual citizens. of South Africa going to this. What has South Africa done to do this? Over 900 people have been arrested, have been arraigned in different courts of South Africa, and they have been charged with the offenses of arson. They have been charged with the offenses of malicious damage to property. They have been charged with the offenses of hate speech. They have been threatening and killing. In total, over 148 people have been killed in this episode of South Africa. 148 human beings have been killed in South Africa. How many countries in Africa are being affected in this matter? Listen, the numbers are scary. Ghana, 1,000 Ghanaians have been evacuated. Nigeria, 859 Nigerians have been evacuated. Zimbabwe, 56,000 people from Zimbabwe have escaped. Kenya, 422 Kenyans. Malawi, 600 have been evacuated. Mozambique, 150 have been evacuated. These numbers are increasing day in, day out. The number was 148 by the start of the week. By today, over 669 deaths have been reported across several nationalities. Over 669 deaths as of today have died. We are moving to the target of over 1,000 people. What are the consequences of xenophobia? The consequences of xenophobia are: one, diplomatic issues are going to arise. Today, Ghana has refused to accept the president of South Africa to visit that country and deal with the issue of xenophobia. Kenyans who travel to South Africa for tourism will not go there. Most likely, most African countries are going to boycott products on the shelves of supermarkets. Any product coming from South Africa, any company that is a South African company, is going to be a serious ripple effect to the economy of these countries. From Court Helicopter, we condemn very violently the attack on Africans from other countries who are living in South Africa. We urge the Kenyan government to intervene through diplomatic angles so that the Kenyans who have worked so hard to eke a life in South Africa can also see the rainbow country that the fathers of African liberation from colonialism had in mind. Wakili Dan Sanomari, we wish the families of those coming back, the government takes care, they are compensated, and they are returned back to their feet so that they can move forward. Otherwise, it is a catastrophic human immigration challenge facing Africa at this time. Thank you. To Saturday.